I understand the political urge to cherry pick what Mr. Loh says. I understand that. But Mr. Loh also has shared many views on the GST in this House. So I hope to hear the front bench quoting him on the GST in future.
The GST every time, introducing it at 3%, pushing it up from 3 to 5, which I did, going from 5 to 7, which Mr. Tharman did as finance minister. And we reminded the WP of this, only to be told by your ex-MP, Mr. Leon Pereira, that now that it has reached 7%, you don't oppose that, but you oppose going to 9. So Hansard is an open book. We can all refer to it readily, and soon we'll be able to do a generative AI search on it, and all these facts will come out, and I'm not hallucinating.
The Prime Minister is suggesting that it may not be as conservative as Finance Minister Tharman suggested in 2015. So if the Prime Minister could clarify what is the position, conservative or is it not conservative?
There's nothing to reconcile. It's true. The estimate is conservative, but it is an estimate. It's an estimate of a random variable, a variable which can be high, which can be low, which can be middling, which nobody knows which is going to be, but to the best of our judgment, this is the estimate of probably the middle point. How much does that translate into next year's return? 5 years from now, 10 years from now? God only knows. It is a random variable, and we are trying to estimate what is going to happen, and we are trying to make a prudent judgment. So I'm not judging the tail, the most optimistic outcome, or the bottom, the most awful outcome, which is not just 0, but -10, -20. There could be a crash. But where do you think is a reasonable middling scenario? And that's the number which we will plan on and which we will use to draw on the reserves. So I hope that that clarifies, and it will help the WP to make your explanations easier for us to understand.
Again, it'll be helpful if the Prime Minister can share with this House if a single piece of land is sold repeatedly for as long as the lease lasts. How does that cohere with the Prime Minister's position that land is just a conversion? I think the Prime Minister will be right if we're talking about freehold land, but this is leasehold. So if the Prime Minister could explain, I'll be grateful. And if it means that we have to finesse or we have to correct ourselves, I don't think the WP will have a difficulty in doing that.
Yes, you can sell it over and over again. You can't sell a freehold over and over again. You can sell leasehold over and over again. So if you sell a 30-year leasehold, I can sell the first 30 years now. I can sell it at the end of the first 30 years. I can sell another 30 years. At the end of that 30 years, I can sell, yes, another 30 years, and so on forever. If you add all those payments together and discount them, you get the price of the land for freehold, at least in principle. And so if you sell the freehold land, it's one price. If you sell the 30-year lease, it's another price, it's shorter. But you're only selling that 30 years. And you get, in 30 years' time, you'll have the chance of selling it again and again. And if you add up all those 30-year lease earnings, well, that should get you the freehold value. So if you sell the land once and you want to spend the money now, you're actually saying, I used to own this land, I rent it out, I collect rent every month or every year. Over the next 30 years, I will collect rent every month. I can spend it every month. But now I sell the land, I collect 30 years of lease premium upfront, I spend it today. You are cheating. To say that you can take it forward and you can spend it and don't worry, because in 30 years' time I'll get it back. You tell your banker in 30 years' time I'll pay you back. Same dollar. I borrow $1 from you, in 30 years' time I'll give you back the hong pao. I see what he says to you.
The Prime Minister was referring to, I think the issue here is at the end of the 30-year lease, the money has to go back into the reserves once the land is sold. So it's the same piece of land that is sold. Every time it is sold, the land sale receipts go into the reserves. That's the only point I'm seeking confirmation from the Prime Minister.
Yes, of course. Every time I sell the land, I put money into the reserves. But I'm not putting the money into the reserves all today. I'm putting it in a stream of payments 30 years apart. And that means the money which you're paying in 30 years from now, today has to be discounted by whatever interest rate the bank is charging, multiplied by 30 years. It's not worth $1 for $1, maybe 10 cents for $1. And the next one after that, maybe 1 cent for $1. And the series converges.